Hi everyone, I've got a 2001 Mercedes CLK 430 convertible, and my problem is that this back window will only roll up halfway, and I'm going to show you how to fix that. We're going to be taking out the back seat cushion here on the bottom and that backrest cushion there, and then we can take off this panel here so we can get to the regulator. Okay, we're going to take out the bottom cushion here of the back seat. Pretty easy. You just lift up on the whole thing. There's no bolts or anything holding it on. You just jerk it up, and there, it's out. And then you pull it through the seat belt receptacles there. And if it's never been out, it might be a little hard to pull up. Now to get the backrest out, there is a 13mm bolt on this side. Mine are missing, but it's right about there. 13mm bolt that you got to get out. And on the other side, in the same spot, there's a 13mm bolt that goes right there. And of course, mine are missing. But you take those 13mm bolts out, and then you've got a 10mm bolt about right there. And I've got to take that 10mm bolt out. Okay, once you've got those two 13mm bolts out and the 10mm bolt, you need to get behind this armrest, pull it down, and pull back on this cover here, and there will be two Phillips screws back here. Okay, you pull that piece back, and you've got two Phillips screws right there that you need to take out. Okay, now once you've got those screws taken out, put that back, put the armrest back. You just lift this thing up, and it'll come out. Just lift it straight up, and then out this way, and it's out. Okay, now that you've got the cushion out, that gives us access to that bolt there so that we can get this panel off. Next, remove this 10mm bolt right there. Next, you want to pry off these two plastic caps here so you can get to the bolts underneath. Just pry them off with a screwdriver. So next, just take out the 17mm bolts. And with those two bolts out, now you can remove this safety belt strap off of there. Gets it out of the way so that you can take the whole panel off. Okay, next you need to get to that bolt right there, or screw rather, Phillips screw. But there's a cap that goes on here. I destroyed my cap, so I'll show you how to get the cap off from the other side. Watch out, these plastic covers here are brittle. There's a hole right there that you can see right there, and it needs to go inward, and then you can lift that side of this cover up. It's hard to do with one hand, but there's another hole and tab on this side, and it needs to go inward, and then you can lift this cover up on that side. So do one side at a time, and you can get this out. So now that you got that cover off, remove that Phillips screw right there. Okay, at this point, right now there are some little plastic tabs that are holding this thing in there, and you've got this side molding also. So you need to sort of lift up on this and then pull back on it, and it should come out. So you've got some of these tabs here that are holding it in. Now once you've got that panel detached, we need to put this safety belt through the hole here. And watch out with these plastic pieces. As you can see, I broke that one by pulling it through before. So we need to get that through this hole here, and be careful. And that gives us a little more wiggle room. And we also need to get to this bolt here. That is a 17mm bolt for the seat belt, so that we can pull that one through. So take that bolt off right there. Detaching that panel first gives us a little easier access to this bolt here, so you can get a socket on it a lot easier. Okay, now with that bolt removed, you can put the safety belt through the hole here, and be careful with the plastic. Okay, now I should be able to lift this whole thing out, and keep in mind the molding over here. And you should be able to pull that out. So that's what it looks like with the cover off. And the regulator is behind here, so you need to peel back this vapor barrier. It's pretty gooey and sticky. I've already took this off a couple weeks ago, so it's easy to take off. And there you can see the regulator motor and the problem. You've got this you've got this white plastic block here that's broken. You can see that the part of it is missing there and causing that whole piece to tilt to the right, which is the problem, because when that plastic piece goes up, there is a metal bracket up there that it gets caught on. So it only goes halfway up. So I need to replace that plastic piece right there. So before you try to remove that plastic block, that's the position it's in with the window all the way down. You want to get it a little higher, and you also want the tension on these cables to be really loose. Right now, this bottom cable is super tight, so that'll be hard to replace that if it's like that. So you want to mess with the window control to get that plastic block a little higher, and both of those cables with some of the tension relieved here. So you got to mess with the switch, go up and down until both of those cables are a little bit loose. So I'm moving the rear window up and down a little bit here. Get it about right there, and I want both of those cables to be kind of loose. All right, that looks like it might have done it. Okay, both of those cables are semi-loose. The little top one's a little tight, so I'm gonna mess with it a little bit more here. Oop. Ah. There. Okay, that's loose, and that's semi-loose. So right about that position looks good. So to get this plastic piece off, we need to take off that black clip right there. Before you do that, you might want to stick a rag or something down there so it doesn't fall down into the abyss. So take a flathead screwdriver and sort of twist it and release that thing, and it should come off. Okay. Okay, I've got it off. Ugh. All right, now you need to pull this up. There's a little shaft there that holds it on. So pull this up, this plastic piece, and spin it around, and there's a cover there. And I'm easily able to take that cover off, and there you can see the cables with the springs on the end into this plastic piece. So you need to get those out. Whoop. Alright, there's one, there's the bottom out. And there's the top out. So that's out of there. I tried finding this piece a couple weeks ago on the internet and couldn't find anything. But I finally searched eBay and just put Mercedes window regulator in there, and I found that piece there. It didn't say specifically for CLK or anything, but it looked the same since I already saw what it looked like. So I bought this for $9.99 on eBay, and I'll put a link on there in the description below. So let's go ahead and put this piece in there. I'm going to put it in this way, and I can't do it with one hand and film it, so I'm going to put the camera down and go ahead and put this back in there. Well, this wasn't as easy as I'd hoped, but it just took me a few minutes to get that in there. It helps if you just put the left one in first, and then you can use a screwdriver, big screwdriver, to compress that spring down and work it on in there. Now I just need to put the cap on. And it snaps in there, but not real well. Spin this around first. Let's see, spin it around. And now move the stud of the window up. Well, I'm going to have to set the camera down and do this. Okay, I've got it in there. I had to use my other hand to pull the window up to align that middle stud to the plastic piece here. So it is on there. Now I just need to put the clip on there, which should be pretty easy. There, yeah, that just slides on there. Now it's in there. Now let's test it out. And there it is. There's the window. It went all the way up. So now that you see that plastic piece is not cockeyed so much now, so it's going to make it through that that bracket that's up there a little further. Okay, I've got everything back together the way I took it off, and let's see what we got. Works beautifully. Back up again, looking good. Damn plastic parts. Thanks for watching.